Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you're watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Joining me, as always, is my co-host from the Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks podcast, Rebellious D. How you doing today, bro?
Ready to rock, brother.
Hey, I'm ready to rock, too. And joining us again is cosplayer Johnie 5. Johnny, how you doing today?
Doing well, guys. How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing awesome,
swell.
Man.
Swell.
Hey, and y'all already know the reason why we got Johnie 5 back up here. You can see it in the background. We are reviewing Vox Machina episodes 4 through 6. And, he's a friend of the pod, so we wanted to bring him back up here to join us with us. And before we get into today's review, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, you hit that bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And D, like you say every time,
As always, podcast also in the description. Like, follow, subscribe to the channel, and thank you for watching.
And for the critters who may have found us tonight, is it Thursday yet?
It's almost Thursday. It is almost Thursday. So, yeah, man, I'm really happy that they released the episodes in packs of 3s. Especially on Friday, because it makes for a really good weekend I just binged the episodes, but if you want to watch an episode Friday, then Saturday, then Sunday, you have that option to do that. Yep. But man, another 3 good episodes. I want to say my favorite was episode 6 when my boy Percy, he put the mask on. And we got a taste of him in episode 3 when he put the mask on and he was shooting at the guy. But in this, man, it's just like he lit that dude up and he took the mask off. He said, I want you to see my face. I
wanted you to know it was me.
And then to see that his sister is still alive too. Like, I was not expecting that. It's interesting. I love the storytelling that they're telling on these episodes. I want to go back to episode 4 when you had the dead rising from the graves, and like the only way they could be defeated was by the light. D, like, what was your thoughts on that episode?
Man, I really liked it. And then this leads us into Pike having her problems, as you know. I mean, dude, I'm just kind of in love with the show as a whole, to be honest. I can't wait for it to come out weekly, like you say. It's a perfect show to come out with 3 episodes a week. I can't wait. Can't wait. Johnny?
So the Wraiths were super fun. Love the fact that it took the sunlight spell to make them tangible so that they could actually be hurt. With the Wraiths, we potentially got our first Matt Mercer NPC cameo of the 3-pack. So one of the Wraiths actually has Matt's kind of like signature haircut. So there's speculation that was our Matt NPC cameo for episode 4 in one of the Wraiths.
Yeah, that's cool. I know that you had mentioned that on last week's review when we had did that, and I swear, man, it's like when I watch these episodes, I'm looking for Matt Mercer, and I'm just like, I know Johnny will be able to find him, but it's like it's kind of like playing the game of Where's Waldo, where it's like you're trying to find which character he is this week. But but yo, man, like the Briarwoods. Hey, those are some messed up individuals. I'm trying to, stay PG as possible without cussing and all that stuff. And it's kind of hard because, they're messed up. Like when they put the charm on the little girl's necklace and, she thought that she was a special child and whatnot. And
she won a prize.
Yeah, she won a prize. All right. Her and her whole family. God, like they was just strung up on the tree. Like, it was wild, man. And for episode 5 to end that way and to, see Vox Machina dressed up as, civilians dressed up as them and hung up on the tree. Like, where else has that happened at? D, Johnny, do y'all know? I know it's been in either a movie or TV show or anime where it's just like they did something similar where it's just like these people are supposed to represent us.
The one thing I've seen it in, me personally, is every now and again, you'll have a crazy Batman villain that'll, make some sort of mannequin up and, have it on display. Hey, this is what's going to happen to you, Bruce, kind of thing. That was the main thing that came to mind for me. Johnny, you got anything?
Whether it's like specifically like an effigy of like a specific person, or even if it's just putting out, totems, if you will, like that. Vlad the Impaler did it. Yep. You see the Stormtrooper helmets in Star Wars.
I was just
like a warning. So you may not even necessarily have like a direct like one-to-one effigy of somebody, but you got many instances where that pops up in storytelling where somebody's putting out a warning that's like, this just roughly represents anybody who wants to mess with me.
Oh, hell, Banks, speaking of which, I'm glad you brought up that Vlad the Impaler, because it happened in Castlevania. Remember?
There we go. Yeah.
There it is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where he had the people,
the brother and sister.
The brother and sister, yeah. Something else I wanted to touch on was in episode 5, excuse me, where it's like, Vox is talking about, his upbringing and stuff like that. And then we have that moment between him and Keyleaf. And I was just like, okay, and then Vex, she was looking, she noticed that something was going on. And
smack him in the back of his head.
I just love the whole chase. Like, I love that it's like they're trying to get to their destination. And then it's like you have these monsters who are just super strong, and it takes a lot to take them out. Like, I like that the monsters, like, they're not taken out so easily. It feels like a video game, especially like in episode 4.
Feels like a campaign.
Yeah, exactly. Like in episode 4 when we got the Wraiths, and it took light in order to defeat them. It's like no matter what they did, like their attacks and whatnot, like they didn't work. And I just love that Keyleaf, she had the ability to summon light and was able to take them out. Something else I wanted to bring up too was when they were telling like their what was it, like
the horror stories?
Yeah.
The worst dream you ever had or something like that.
It was like the worst kill that you ever did or something like that.
Yeah, there it is.
And your boy
Stanley.
Scanlon. He was with the girl, and then she grew another head. And he was just like, yeah, I finished too. I was just like, this guy, man. But
super extra.
But yeah, of course, man, he's always extra. But Johnie, I know that me and you, we talked off of video, and you was telling me about some of the Easter eggs. So without spoiling too much, and if these Easter eggs aren't spoilers to everybody that's watching the series for the first time, like what were some of the Easter eggs that you saw?
Oh my God, there are so many of them. Some of the kind of cool, exciting ones. So first of all, we're talking about the monster kills thing. Grog's monster kill was like right out of the campaign. Matt has a way in their campaign. He adopted this thing where like if you land the killing blow on a monster, he'll be like, okay, how do you want to do this? And he gives the player the opportunity to kind of like detail like how their character actually like finished off this monster, which is kind of cool. So Grog had a moment where he literally like ripped the jaws of this thing open and like bit into its tongue and like pulled it out of its head and all that other stuff. So it's a cool like barbarian moment. Like did you get to something brutal that's like that? But like there's stuff hidden in the background of like almost every scene. One of I think it's episode 5, like where you see them kind of sneaking through the streets. There's a scene where you've got Vax, and like on the wall behind him is a logo of an organization called the Clasp. And the Clasp in the Critical Role campaign was like the Thieves and Assassins Guild that he was part of at one point. And so they are like kind of like the Rogues Guild of Tal'Dorei, which is kind of sweet. When they're in Gilmore's shop and like, they're looking over all the merchandise and stuff, just again, the shelves are completely laden with this object and that object and the other object that are Easter eggs. And so without going into all of them, I would definitely point people's attention to that area, like if they're looking for like little things, because the one that really does stand out in the shop is when Vax is looking through the collection of weapons and he goes dagger, dagger, dagger. Like that's a very like iconic thing like in the actual campaign too, for Liam to be talking about his attacks and say dagger, dagger, dagger. So just cool stuff like that. Episode 5 also, we got the first look at Bad News, which is Percy's sniper rifle. So when he made the little comment to Grog, when Grog said, "What's that?" He said, "Just a little bit of bad news." Percy's got a sniper rifle he's been working on. They did the cool thing with like the lenses that like, click, 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 so you could have the different levels of magnification that he needed. But yeah, so that's a little, I got something for you that Percy's been working on. Super duper cool about that. Also, the pepper box laying by the campfire. You see him twirling the barrels, like while he's like just kind of in his head, and you see the names pop up. So the pepper box, which is called the list, you notice the names that were on there, and those are the names of the people that he is going to exact vengeance on. So maybe a little bit of a spoiler there, but you know what's to come because if you're here watching this, yeah. And then as far as the specifics of what that means, how that came to be or entails, I'm not going to say anything about that. People who have seen the campaign, they know. And if you guys want to talk about it in the after show, maybe we'll do that a little bit. We'll leave that for later.
Okay. Yeah, to piggyback off of what you were saying about the box and the names and stuff, like I thought it was cool that on Percy's gun, like he has the names up there, and it's like whenever after he kills the person, like their name, it disappears, and it's very like the common revenge story where it's just like I'm gonna avenge my family and whatnot, and I'm gonna kill the people that did this to us. And like I said, I'm really looking forward to seeing like what's going to happen with Cassandra and what she was told, like that. I'm pretty sure like this stuff was put in her head. Her brother abandoned her, he was only looking out for himself and whatnot. And, I can't wait to see when her and Percy, they meet up and like what that conversation is going to be. Is there going to be a fight between them? Is she gonna fight the rest of Vox Machina? There's just so many questions that I have. And, if you're watching our review, hop in the comments and let us know what you think is gonna happen without spoiling it, because I do read the comments and I do respond, and I don't want to be spoiled by anybody and whatnot. But now I want to ask this, D, which episode was your favorite one between 4 and 6?
I guess it was episode 4 where you get to see Caliph and my boy have a moment in the shop. I mean, I like those moments like that, so I'm going with that one. I mean, the obvious moment, I should just be pointing to episode 6 when you get to see Percy blow somebody, just crush them. You know what I mean?
Critical roles, man.
Yeah, hey, that perfect 20, boy. Don't miss.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm going for that because I like a good romance in between the action, man. I'm going with them.
Johnny?
So I'm going to be basic and say episode 6, but let me tell you though, I say basic, but it's when you watch something when you watch something that you kind of already know the backstory and like what these things mean. When you see them on screen, and you see them bring it into that sort of visual medium, that's not been portrayed before, and it gives you still that feeling of like, yes, like they really captured what's going on here. Yep. It's exciting to see it, even though you knew it was coming, you knew it was coming up, you knew what it means, you know all the implications of it, but to put it on screen and to see it like that and have it be that good. Oh my gosh! Like I episode 6.
Well said.
I will say though, I hope this is not a pattern for them that says like you're gonna get 2 episodes and like 90% of an episode, and then you get your Percy scene, and then you get 2 more episodes and 90% of an episode, and then another Percy scene. So I hope we're not waiting until episode 9 for more like Percy badassness. But
I get what
at the same time, it's not supposed to be the Percy show. It just so happens that some of the moments that he's got that they're putting on the screen, they are really focused on his backstory, because the Briarwood arc really does kind of deal with a lot of like stuff that he is connected to.
Yeah,
I just want to piggyback real quick and say that I'm fine with the pacing of Percy's moments, because I actually think that they do a great job delegating scenes. You get a lot of everybody, even Grog. And he's just looking for Ale. You know what I mean? So
and to piggyback off of you. Like you said, everybody, they get their moments to shine and backstories and whatnot. And I know that we didn't mention the stuff with Pike. I mean, I know D, you mentioned it briefly, but
I was going to bring that up too.
To find her, going back to the church and saying that she's been cursed, but she's not really cursed. It's something inside of her that's preventing her from using the light. And I can't wait to see more of that too. And to piggyback off of what you were saying, Johnny, about how it's like, we get all this stuff and then we get all this focus on Percy. It's like, I feel like that we have to get the focus on Percy, because like right now, this is his story about them getting back into Briarwood and getting revenge and avenging his family and stuff like that. But I hope that, of course, it's probably going to wrap the show up, but then once we move to the next season, we'll get to focus on the other characters, because I would love to see more Vex and Vox's, I always say their names wrong, Vex and Vax. I would love to see more of their childhood. I mean, like, we've seen like brief scenes of, what happened with their parents and, them being raised alone with the bear and all that stuff. So for me, my favorite episode, of course, was episode 6, but I mean, like, there was just so much good stuff in episodes 4 and 5 too. Like, I can't remember the general's name, but he really reminded me of T'Challa, and I love that he worked with Vox Machina at the end of the episode, so that way that they could all survive. But again, episode 6 is my favorite, just because we see the stuff with Percy, and then when he rolled up on my boy and was just laying him out, and finding out that his sister was alive. Another thing that I love about this show is that for episode 3 and then going into episode 4, like, we get where it picks back up, like, right at the end, and then we get that scenery and stuff like that with the story and all that stuff, and then it moves on. So, like, that's what I'm hoping is going to happen again when we get to episode 7, and I want to see more stuff with Cassandra. That's what I want to see. I want to see more stuff with her. I want to know how she survived. I want to know, like, why she is with the Briarwoods and all that stuff. And let us know in the comments what your favorite episode was, and let us know what you're looking forward to, and new episodes that are going to be coming out soon. So with that being said, Johnie, final rating for episodes 4 through 6, and final rating.
Again, I'm gonna give them solid 10. The execution of their material is so good. It just, everything just draws you in, and there's nothing that's like story specific that makes you just kind of be like, oh my gosh, this is so slow. Like Dee said, the pacing is just so good. So I gotta give it 10s across the board. It's so good.
Dee?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a solid 10 as well. Can't wait. I mean, this show is, to me, it's everything I would want to see in a show, weirdly enough. Love the chemistry amongst the actors and their characters. It's just fun, Thanks.
Yeah, I want to stick with you guys. I'm giving it a 10 as well. I loved all 3 episodes, and each time that you watch, the episodes, it's like they just always continue to get better. Like, there hasn't been a bad episode, and this show, it reminds me so much of Invincible, where it's just like when Invincible came out, it's like the hype train for that show was amazing. Everybody loved it. Everybody was watching it. And I really hope when Invincible season 2 comes out, I hope that they do the same formula. Amazon, please keep doing this. Release 3 episodes at a time, so that way people can talk about it. Because, just that waiting weekly for one episode, man, it's like sometimes I need more to crave my appetite, So I give it a 10 too. Let us know in the comments what your rating is for all 3 episodes that we got last week. I'm sorry. And make sure that you join us next week when we review episodes 7 through 9. And with that being said, Johnie, thank you again so much for joining us. Let everybody in social media land know where they can find Johnie5 at.
Awesome. Well, you can find me on Instagram at Johnie_5. And stay tuned, because there's maybe some news about a certain, we'll call it, silver team leader coming up.
You can find me as always at rebellious_D23 Instagram.com. And Banks, if they need one more party member, where can they find one at?
Hey, you can find me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, at KingBenji_Banks on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me on Facebook at Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Thank you again for watching our review for Vox Machina. Make sure that you check out some more of our reviews that we have here on the channel, along with interviews and reaction videos. Check out our podcast, where we have brand new episodes every Tuesday. The link is down in the description below. Like I always say, stay positive. Happy Black History Month. Keep that pinky up. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Peace. Thank you for watching a brand new episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure that you hit that like button and you subscribe to our channel. Hit the bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content on our channel. Make sure you check out our podcast, where we release new episodes every Tuesday, and the video of that episode is uploaded on Friday. And you can find new episodes of our podcast on all podcast platforms. Make sure you follow all the Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks social media accounts at Leveling Up Banks on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Also, we have a Patreon. If you're feeling generous and would love to donate to us, it's at Leveling Up Banks. And huge shout out to our patrons. We really appreciate you and thank you for the support. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks.